there's a picture that has been out there. You're sitting on the bench in between Noah and T-Mac, and T-Mac looks like he might be saying something to you, and I jokingly said that, like, he's saying, your record's not going to last for very long, but the first time that you've had an opportunity to actually coach a game with him and with Noah, reflecting on that, is it just more than you could have imagined?
It is, just everything encapsulating all of it. Me being back here at Arizona, being in Tucson, family being here, dad was here, wife and kids were here, just being in the stadium, and then obviously working with these players, T-Mac and Noah and this whole team and Coach Brennan. But it's such a great feeling for me personally, and then to see a kid like T-Mac that I get the opportunity to actually put my hands on every day and talk to every day and pour into him and the position that he's playing. Actually had played the position, and then, being current record holder and then having a kid chasing it, it's just a great feeling to know that, the program is where it's at, and, we're playing high-level football, and these kids love playing here at the University of Arizona. So, yeah, I was trying to reflect, too, and try to remember exactly what we were talking about. I do remember Noah and T were sitting close, and I kind of wiggled my way into that little gap there, and I can't remember exactly what the conversation was, but the face is priceless for sure.
What do you think T-Mac gained from all that time he spent working on the side with Colin Carroll, doing sprints and drills and all that stuff?
I think the biggest thing being away from the game like that is appreciation for it. Understanding that every single rep is a precious rep. You miss it so much when you're not around it, and you question a lot of things, especially given the injury. Will you be able to do it at a high level? How will you respond, at first when you first get back and things aren't right? There's so much that goes through your mind. But I think he really sit back and watch the other kids play and watch how much fun they were having and the passion that they were putting in the game. And he's looking at it and reflecting like, I miss it, and I really looking forward to that opportunity to coming back. And, not a better game to come back on for sure.
Lots of positives you can take away from a record performance, but what do you think was the most impressive part about what T-Mac did?
His finishing. I really challenged him this offseason when I had the opportunity to go back and watch all of his games, went back and watched all of his practices, and that was one of the major things that I emphasized with him was finishing with the football in his hand. I think that was the next step for him to be able to show the guys on the next level that he has that capability to be able to get the ball, make a guy miss, and not only that, but trust his speed and run past people. And he was able to put that on the film. And that's who I know he is. That's what his capability is at. And, I was super proud of him really pushing that point.
And then what do you hope to see from the other guys this week?
Their opportunities, and capitalizing on whatever they might be. If it's one, making sure that one is a quality rep. And, hopefully they'll get their opportunities once, coverages start to roll and things start to change. And, it was a big emphasis from Coach Babers in our room this week was, when a guy has a record-breaking performance like that, other guys really need to step up because you know what's coming next. And so the challenge is there. I think the boys are ready for that. And it's just a matter of opportunities. We didn't have that many offensive plays. Given more offensive plays, you would have seen more guys play.
Bobby, when was the last time you witnessed a performance come even close to what T-Mac put up on Saturday?
Last time, when T-Mac was in Tempe last year. That was the last time I saw that. Obviously, I was on the other side of that. Bittersweet being able to watch him perform, and it was similar. But I think, like I just said, the fact that he's finishing with the ball in his hand and his intention to want to score is just, it's really obvious. And that was a big challenge for him this year, and I'm glad he's getting it done.
Jason and Brian. First game of the year, guy goes for 300 yards. How do you make sure he doesn't get comfortable, or he's just not that type of guy?
He's not that type of guy, but you got to preach humble and hungry for sure. And he's experienced, the highs of highs. So I don't think this is going to bother him at all. I think what it does, it makes him more hungry. And I think elite players like that and guys that are really want to be great and not just focus on the good. It's something that me and him talk about often. I think he'll find a way to get better this week, and that will be his intention, and I'm going to continue to push him to do that. With all the good things that happened in the game, there were still mistakes made, and there were still technique things that could be cleaned up. And being the coach that I am, I'm definitely going to emphasize those things, and we'll get better.
And then in terms of just you as a coach, how do you approach the situation with Devin Hyatt, for instance, drops it and then he gets picked? How do you kind of approach that situation with him?
Those are growing pains. Dev's a redshirt freshman. We got a lot of kids that haven't played a lot of football. I don't put a lot on that. It's a drop ball. It's unfortunate the ball got picked at the end of that, and I think Dev took that really personally, just only because of, how tight-knit we are as a group. And then just, you wear that heavy as a player. So there's no need for me to really stress that and push that on him. I think it's more about putting my arm around him and letting him know that it happens. I dropped my very first bomb in the same stadium for a touchdown. So, I know what that feels like to get through it. It sucks. He's going to take it personally. He came out to work today. I expect him to be a better player this week.
Brian and Michael, what's the advantage of putting T-Mac in the slot? Maybe it wasn't a lot, but maybe 9 or 10 plays, but I think one of the touchdowns came from that.
Yeah, it's the matchups, and being able to move him around. It allows us to see what they want to do and cover down on other guys and how they're going to cover down on him. It's also something that he can do, and when you have a player like that, you want to move him around. Want to be able to get him in different spots, and he's comfortable with it. He plays well inside and outside, so we expect to continue to move him around, and, it's going to create matchups for other guys outside, and we talked about the other younger players being able to step up and make big plays.
Michael, 2 questions for you. The first one is, what did you see from a coverage standpoint as it pertained to T-Mac, and what do you expect to see against him moving forward?
A little surprised in the coverages we got with him, especially after the success he had early in the game. But, they were really trying to blitz us and bring pressure. So obviously when you bring pressure, you get man-to-man coverage behind that, which was, great matchups for us. That's one of the reasons why we moved them inside as well. And so, obviously when you bring pressure, ball got to come out the quarterback's hands, so we got to think more quick game stuff. And that's all it was about, just trying to get the ball out Noah's hands and protect him, keep him upright, and get the ball in the hands of our playmaker.
And then what did Jeremiah Patterson show you guys to earn that number 3 receiver spot at this field opening?
Toughness. I think he showed that on Saturday as well. I think he had 106 kickoff return yards, which you got to be tough to be able to do that. And then, running with the ball in his hand. He's very dynamic. He made the first 2 guys miss when he was touching the football. So I'm really pleased with how he performed. We would like to get him more opportunities, and that'll come throughout the season.
Last one to Justin. 2-part question. What do you think was your best game as a wide receiver?
It would have been Cal game. Yeah, when I was playing. I think we played at Cal so long ago. Were you asking me that question?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, yeah, it was, I don't know, some 200-some yards, something like that. Yeah, it wasn't 300. 222. Thank you.
And then how would you compare the experiences at Arizona Stadium as a coach and a player? How do you experience both?
Oh, man, it's such a great place. It holds such a strong part of my heart. It's fun, obviously, playing. Being a player, you miss those days, you miss those times. It is, I think I'm having more fun now, honestly, only because of, I get to touch so many kids. It's not just, the few that are in your circle as a player, but, there's so many kids here that really live and die this and love Arizona football and love Arizona athletics all the way around. And there's an energy right now about it that, not only just on the team, but within the community. So it's really fun. I got to do the radio show last night, which was a very enjoyable time, and being around, seeing some old fans and people that you haven't seen in a while. But it's just such a great time for me to be back here and being able to coach.
All right, that's our time. Thanks, Bobby.
Appreciate it, guys.